Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This lesson is of unit number 17, Inheritance, Biology 5090 level, and the subtopic is variation. And in this topic, there are further 5 subtopics. So I'll try to catch up all the different topics in one document. So first subtopic in this subunit variation is to describe the variation as differences between individuals of the same species. So in terms of genetics, we talk about the variation in a sense that it is the difference between individuals of the same species, although in case of genetics, we also deal with the inheritance, mean the likeliness of the parent offsprings as of their parents. So what's the definition of variation in this case? So variation refers to differences between individuals of the same species. So as we know, although members of same species share many similar features because they have same genetic material, but they are not identical. So these observable differences are called variations. For example, all domestic cats belong to the same species and can interbreed with one another freely in nature, yet they differ in size, coat color, eye color, fur length, and even different other aspects. So types of variations are different. For example, genetic variations. So these variations are inherited and caused by the differences in genes. For example, black or white coat color in cats, blood group in humans, seed shape in pea plant. So there are environmental variations as well. So these differences are not inherited but result from the environmental factors such as nutrition, sunlight, disease. Example, that if a kitten that receives less food grows smaller and a person getting suntan due to sunlight exposure. So these are the environmental factors which are responsible for the differences in individuals. So then comes the combined variations. It means that genetics and environmental factors, they play a role simultaneously in the outcome of these variations. Some characteristics are influenced by both genes and the environment. For example, a person with genes for producing skin pigment will only become tanned if exposed to sunlight. What are the key points? Inherited mean genetic variations are passed from parents to offsprings, but acquired environmental variations are developed during lifespan and cannot be inherited. So second point in our second subtopic in our subunit variation is to understand that continuous variation results in a range of phenotypes between two extremes, including body length and body mass. In case of different animals, body length may be true, but in humans, body length is also equivalent to height of the individual. So these are continuous variations. Continuous variations shows a range of small differences in characteristics between individuals of the same species. In continuous variations, there are no distinct groups. Instead, individuals show gradual differences between two extremes. Example, body height. In humans, people can be of any height within a range, not just tall or short. Although extremes are there, somebody is tall, someone is of short stature, but there is a range. So body mass in humans, individuals also vary continuously from light to heavy. Length of the leaf in plants of the same species and mass of the fruits in plants also show continuous variations. So what are the causes? Continuous variations is usually caused by both genes and the environment. Genes provide the basic pattern, for example, gene influencing the growth, but environment modifies it, for example, diet, health, sunlight. So key idea is continuous variations produces a smooth range of phenotype between two extremes, often shown as a bell-shaped curve when plotted on a graph. So here is a figure showing this detail. So continuous variations shows a range of small differences in the characteristics between individuals of the same species. Example, body height in humans, body mass in humans, length of the leaf or mass of the fruit. So there is a bell-shaped appearance of graph. There is short limit and tall limit, but in between them, we know there is a lot of differences among the individuals of the same species. So what are the causes? Continuous variation is usually caused by both genes and the environment. Genes provide the basic pattern. For example, gene influencing growth, environment modifies it. For example, diet, health, and sunlight. So key idea is continuous variation produces small and smooth range of phenotype between, not small, but smooth range of phenotypes between two extremes, often shown as a bell-shaped curve when plotted on a graph. So the third subtopic in this subunit of variation is to understand that discontinuous variations result in limited number of phenotypes with no intermediate. It doesn't mean that the individuals of the population, they have limited number of phenotypes. No, absolutely not. It means that the phenotypes in a particular case, they are of limited number, maybe one or two groups, maybe 3 or 4 groups, not more, with no intermediate, including AB, O blood groups, seed shape and seed color in peas. So discontinuous variations, the definition is that they occurs when a characteristic shows a limited number of distinct phenotypes. There are no intermediate forms between them. What is the key point? Each individual clearly belongs to one category or another, and there are no general gradual differences between the extremes and types. So what are the causes? Usually controlled by a single gene or a small number of genes. Environment has little or no effect on the expression of that particular trait. Example, ABO blood group in humans, only 4 possible types, A, B, AB, and O. And one can't be having same something between A and B. So it should be A, B, or AB, and maybe O. Seed shape in P, two distinct phenotypes, round and wrinkled. No seed are partly rounded or partly wrinkled. Seed color in peas. There are two classes and groups, yellow and green, no intermediate shade color. So summary table in case of discontinuous variations. So type of variation is discontinuous. Number of phenotypes limited and distinct categories. Intermediate, no. Gene involved, one or few. Environmental influence, very little or no. And examples, ABO blood groups and seed shape and seed color in pea plants. Then comes the fourth subtopic in case of subunit variations. To understand that discontinuous variation is usually caused by the genes only, and continuous variation is caused by the genes and the environment. So there is a gradual development of the concept, evolution of the concept in case of variation. What does it mean? There's continuous variations, they involve only genes, one or few genes, but discontinuous variations involve genes as well as the environment of that particular individual, which is under consideration. So discontinuous variation where individuals fall into into two maybe more distinct categories with no intermediate. And what are the causes? Usually single gene or few genes and little or no influence from the environment. Blood group ABO. ABO blood group is is very good example in this case. For example, A blood group, B blood group, AB blood group and O blood group. So although it is not difficult that there are some structures, proteins and glycoproteins present on the surface of the red blood cells. For example, A antigen and B antigen in case of A, only A antigen, B in case of B antigen in case of AB, only in case of B, AB blood group, both the antigens are present, but in case of O, no antigen is there. So flower color in pea plants, purple or white. So there are two distinct groups, purple, plants having purple group flowers and plants having white colored flowers. So explanation is that genes involved to determine the clear-cut characteristics, we may have either one form or the other. So in case of continuous variations where individuals show range of phenotype with no clear boundaries between them. So what are the causes? Usually controlled by many genes, polygenic inheritance, and influenced by the environmental factors. For example, human height, body mass, skin color. So in this case, we can easily observe that there is a gradual change. For example, if we consider this extreme as short and this one is the tall, so there are variations among the individuals within the population. So in case of graph, if we talk about frequency, number of individuals, and if we plot a graph against height in centimeters, so we can observe that in this category, which may be considered as tall, very few individuals are there. But in case of tall individuals, also the individuals are of limited in number, but in between them, the frequency is very high. So this is the continuous variation type. So many genes contributed small additive effects. They are adding effects in the outcome of that phenotype, the appearance of that phenotype, and environment like nutrition, sunlight, health further influences the outcome, producing a smooth gradient of variations. So if we compare the discontinuous variation with continuous variation, so number of phenotype, limited, distinct categories, number of phenotypes, range of phenotypes is there. And in case of intermediate forms, no. But in case of the continuous variations, intermediate forms are present. Genes involved, only one or few. Genes involved, maybe many, more than one. Environmental influence, little or no. But in case of the continuous variation, strong influence of the environment is there. In case of discontinuous variations, examples are ABO blood group, seed shape. In case of continuous variations, if there is a body complexion or any complexion or any color, so there may be light and dark, and in between them, we can observe a range of individuals. And the last one is to investigate and describe examples of continuous and discontinuous variations. In case of Cambridge stream, whenever we have the beginning of any question or any the syllabus term, so investigate mean that there may be a practical question in our exam. So we are supposed to investigate and perform the manipulate the given data to give the answer in case of our ATP paper or the exam. So investigate and describe example of continuous variation, discontinuous variation. If we talk about discontinuous variations, the definition is already there and causes are known. Examples, yes. So in case of investigation, we may deal with the examples if the data is given in our exam. So AB blood groups, humans, 4 distinct AB, AB, A, B, AB, O, and no intermediate blood groups. Seed shape, round or wrinkled, no intermediate. Seed color, yellow or green, no in between shades. Tongue rolling in case of human, this is very famous feature and character. You can either roll your tongue or not. So there may be data given in our exam, and we are supposed to perform the write down the given the answer to given question. So earlobe attachment in humans, earlobe are either free or attached, no intermediate. So in case of continuous variation, definition is there, causes are there, examples, height in humans ranges from short to tall with many intermediate values affected by genes and nutrition. Body mass, humans are in different animals, varies continuously depending on diet, exercise, metabolism, and genetics of the individual. Skin color in humans varies from very light to very dark, controlled by several genes and sunlight exposure. So these are the different parameters. Then the length of the leaves in the same plant shows a range influenced by both genes and environmental factors such as light and water. And milk production in cows varies across individual depending on genes and feed quality. So in case of continuous variations, no distinct categories. So the key differences in case of discontinuous and continuous variations. So number of in case of discontinuous variations, the number of phenotype for a particular character limited. But in case of continuous variations, the number of phenotypes, rather outcomes, may be many and should be many. And in intermediate form, in case of discontinuation, no. In case of continuous variations, yes, they are there. And genes involved, one or few, but in case of continuous variations, many. Environmental influence, little or no, but in case of continuous variation, environmental influence is very much strong. Example, blood group, seed shape, in case of discontinuous and continuous variation, height, weight, skin color. So that is all about the variation topic given in our syllabus 5090 biology, Cambridge O level. So inshallah, we will discuss further things, further subtopics in case of other videos. Thank you very much.